In a quiet corner of the galaxy, far from the busy trade routes and shining city planets, there was a world called Velen Prime. It was wild, dangerous, and full of mystery. The Galactic Concord, a group of many alien races working together, had marked the planet as off-limits. No one was allowed to land there. The reason was simple. The creatures on Velen Prime were too deadly. The most feared of these creatures were the Devoran. They were huge, strong, and ancient, covered in dark, stone-like scales, with glowing eyes and sharp claws. They ruled the forests, mountains, and skies. Many species had tried to study them before. All had failed. Some never returned. Because of this, Velen Prime was left alone for many years. But humans are different. Captain Leah Brooks was not the kind of person who followed every rule. She had flown many dangerous missions before, and she was not afraid of taking risks. Her ship, the Silverlight, was small but fast. Her crew was made of explorers and dreamers, not soldiers. With her were Sean Carter, a smart but quiet engineer, and Aaron Blake, a young biologist who loved animals more than people. They had received a secret message from an old friend. It said that there were rich minerals deep under the land of Velen Prime. These minerals could help Earth's struggling energy systems, but there was more. The message also said that the Devoran might not be what the Concord believed. Leah knew it was dangerous. She also knew it could be a chance to do something great. So, without asking for permission, they jumped into hyperspace and made their way to Velen Prime. The planet looked beautiful from space. Blue oceans, green forests, and tall red mountains. It looked peaceful. But they knew better. Leah landed the Silverlight near a valley with high cliffs, hidden from the sky. It was a place where they could stay out of sight. The crew started working right away. They built a small base with camouflaged walls. Sean set up power and scanners. Aaron started watching for animals. They didn't want to hurt anything. They just wanted to see and learn. At first, the Devoran did not come near. The humans used drones to fly over the trees and take pictures. What they saw was amazing. The Devoran hunted in groups, but they also rested, played, and even seemed to speak to each other in low, rumbling sounds. This was strange. The Concord said they were only beasts. One night, while Leah and Aaron were watching the screens, they saw something strange. A Devoran was moving toward the edge of the forest. It looked straight at the drone, but instead of attacking it, it followed it. Slowly, carefully. "I think it knows we're watching," Aaron whispered. Leah nodded. "It's not acting wild. It's curious." The next day, they saw the same creature again. This time, it was even closer. Aaron wanted to go out and see it for real. Leah said no, it was too soon. But something changed that evening. One of the small power units started to make noise. It let out a loud spark. The sound echoed through the valley. A moment later, they heard heavy steps. The Devoran was coming. Sean grabbed a shock stick. Leah and Aaron stood behind the base wall. The creature came into view. It was massive, taller than any of them. Its eyes glowed gold. It looked at the base, then let out a deep growl. Everyone froze. Sean stepped forward slowly. He remembered something from Aaron's notes. The Devoran liked slow movement. Fast meant danger. He bent down, picked up a branch, and held it out. The Devoran sniffed the air, stepped forward, and tapped the branch with one claw. Then it turned and walked away. No one spoke for a full minute. Leah finally said, "I think it just said hello." They looked at each other. Maybe the stories were wrong. Maybe these creatures weren't monsters. Maybe they were something more. The next few days were quiet. The Devoran did not return. But the team kept watching. They saw more signs that these creatures were not just wild animals. They saw them moving in groups, helping each other, and sharing food. Aaron took many notes. He was more excited than ever. "They are like a tribe," he said to Leah. "They care for each other. They are not mindless." Leah agreed. She had a feeling that the Concorde had made a mistake. Maybe no one had stayed long enough to understand them. Maybe all they saw was fear. One morning, the team found something new. Carla Dean, the team's linguist, had arrived the night before. She was quiet but smart. She studied alien languages and strange symbols. She showed Leah a video. "Look here," she said, pointing at the screen. "These rocks have patterns, not random ones. They repeat. That's a sign of language." The camera had captured tall stones near the river. Strange lines were carved into them. Circles, marks, and shapes. Carla believed the Devoran used them to speak or remember things. "They are not just animals," she said. "They have culture." Later that day, the Devoran returned. This time, 2 of them. They came close to the edge of the forest. They watched the base. One of them was Bruno, the one they had seen before. Aaron gave him the name. "Bruno looks calm," Aaron said. "He remembers us." Scene was worried. Calm or not, they are still dangerous. Leah looked through her binoculars. Bruno was watching the drone again. Slowly, the creature raised its arm and made a motion in the air. A circle, then a line. Carla gasped. "That's on the stone. He's repeating the symbol." Leah was amazed. "It's like he's saying something." The humans decided to take a risk. They built a small platform outside the base and left a shiny piece of metal on it. A gift. The next morning, it was gone. In its place, they found a large feather, dark with red tips. Carla believed it had meaning. It's not trash. It's a trade. Each day, the exchanges continued. Food, tools, even simple drawings. Bruno and his group brought something new every time. The humans answered with gifts and messages. Aaron started drawing with chalk on flat stones. He made shapes the Devoran had shown them. Then came the big moment. One afternoon, while Carla and Aaron were outside, a group of Devoran came closer than ever before. They did not hide. They stood tall and watched the humans work. One young Devoran stepped forward. He made a low sound, almost like a hum. Carla looked at Aaron. "That's a greeting." Unsure of it, Aaron stepped forward and copied the sound. The Devoran blinked, then made it again. Aaron answered once more. A second later, the creature walked closer. It bent its head, just a little. Leah watched from the wall. Her hand rested near the alarm switch. But she didn't press it. She trusted Aaron. The Devoran reached out one claw and touched the stone with the chalk symbols. Then it looked at Carla. Carla smiled. "They're trying to talk." That night, Leah called a meeting. "This is more than we hoped for," she said. "They are not beasts. They are smart. They want peace. We need to protect this." Scene was still unsure. What if the Concorde finds out? They won't like this. "Then we show them the truth," Leah said. "We record everything. We gather proof." Aaron nodded. "If we leave now, no one will believe us. But if we stay, we might change everything." No one said anything for a moment. Then Carla spoke. "We stay." The others agreed. Outside the base, in the shadows of the trees, Bruno watched the humans. His eyes glowed gently in the dark. He made the circle and line motion in the air once more. The humans were learning. And so was he. It was early morning when the message arrived. A Concorde ship had entered the system. It was not friendly. The message was clear. "Leave the planet or face the law." Leah read the message out loud to the team inside the base. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed worry. "They know we're here. They're coming." Scene stood up. "How long do we have?" 2 days. Maybe less," Leah answered. Aaron frowned. "We can't leave now. We've made progress. Bruno trusts us." Carla agreed. "We're so close to real communication. If we leave, this chance is lost." Leah nodded. "We won't run yet. Let's prepare. If the Concorde wants a fight, we'll show them peace instead." The team began to work faster. They organized all their records, videos, and notes. Carla translated the stone symbols with help from the Devoran. Scene backed up everything on secure drives. That afternoon, the sky changed. A large ship appeared above the forest. It was silver and sharp, with the Concord symbol on its wings. The people in the base watched as a small shuttle came down and landed near the valley. Leah walked out to meet them. She wore a plain uniform, but she stood tall. The Concord delegation was led by a tall alien named Velric. He had blue skin and eyes like ice. He looked at Leah with no emotion. "You were warned," he said. "This world is forbidden. The Devoran are too dangerous. Your actions break Concord law." Leah stayed calm. "We've made peaceful contact. They are not just animals. They are thinking beings. We have proof." Velric did not blink. "You must leave now." Carla stepped forward. "Please, let us show you what we found, just for one day." Velric looked at her, then at the others. His voice was cold. "One day. Then you go." That evening, Bruno and his group came to the base again. They saw the new ship and stayed back. Leah walked out slowly and made the circle and line symbol in the air. Bruno answered the same way. Then he walked forward. Velric and his team watched from a safe distance. They looked ready to run, but Bruno did not attack. He sat down, folding his legs like a person. Carla handed him a stone with a new symbol. Bruno touched it and made a low sound. "That's a name," Carla whispered. "He's giving us his name." Velric's eyes narrowed. "This is not possible." Leah smiled. "It is. You just never tried." The next morning, Leah invited the Concord team to see the stone circle by the river. Bruno and 2 others led the way. Velric followed, still unsure. At the river, the Devoran showed more symbols. One rock showed pictures of 2 creatures standing side by side. One looked like a Devoran. The other looked almost human. Aaron looked at it closely. They knew about others. Maybe they met people long ago. Velric did not speak for a long time. Then he said, "Even if they are smart, the law is the law. This planet is still off limits." Leah stepped forward, then changed the law. Velric looked at her. "You think the Concord will listen to humans? You are new, weak." Leah didn't move. "We are bold. That's something no one else dared to be. We dared to meet them, and they welcomed us." Velric turned and walked away. "You have one day. Use it well." After he left, Bruno looked at Leah. He made a slow motion in the air. A new symbol. Carla drew it. "This one means hope." Night came, and the forest was quiet. But inside the base, the humans worked hard. They knew the real fight was coming. They had one day to prove that peace was stronger than fear, and they would not waste it. The sun rose slowly over the valley. Mist floated above the trees. The humans were already awake. This was their last day before the Concord would force them to leave. But they were not ready to give up. Not now. Aaron and Carla started early. They prepared new stone drawings, showing symbols the Devoran had taught them. They placed the stones near the meeting area outside the base. Bruno and his group arrived just after sunrise. Bruno came with a young Devoran beside him. This one was smaller, with brighter eyes and lighter scales. It stayed close to Bruno, nervous but curious. "That must be his child or student," Carla whispered. Aaron nodded. "He's teaching, like we are." They sat together on the ground. Bruno drew symbols in the dirt. Carla copied them. The young Devoran tried to copy them too, scratching the ground slowly. Aaron smiled. "He's learning." Scene worked on placing more sensors around the forest edge. He had set up small cameras to record every moment. "We need proof," he said. "If the Concord still wants to remove us, we'll show the whole galaxy what they're trying to destroy." Leah spent the morning going over her speech. She knew Velric would return soon. She wanted to speak clearly and with calm strength. This wasn't just about one planet anymore. This was about change. In the afternoon, Velrek and his team returned. They stood at the edge of the forest, watching. Bruno stood too. Slowly, he walked toward them. Everyone held their breath. Bruno stopped a few feet from Velrek. He raised his hand and made the symbol for peace, a simple motion, but powerful. Velrek didn't move. Then slowly, he nodded once. Leah stepped forward. "Let us show you what we've done." She led Velrek to the meeting area. Carla showed him the stones, the symbols, and the way Bruno responded. Aaron showed videos of the Devoran playing, building small shelters, and caring for their young. "They are not monsters," Leah said. "They are a people. We don't want to take their land. We want to learn with them." Velrek listened but said nothing. Later, Bruno brought the young Devoran forward. It held out a small stone with a mark on it. Carla took it and smiled. "It's a name. I think he's giving himself a name." That evening, the humans and Devoran shared food. Leah gave the Concord team a simple meal. Bruno and his group brought fruit and roasted root plants. They sat together in a circle. It was not perfect. Some Devoran stayed back. Some of Velrek's team looked uncomfortable. But it was a start. Carla sang a short song from Earth, and one of the Devoran answered with a deep, echoing hum. Everyone grew quiet. It felt like a moment from a story. When the meal was over, Velrek stood. He looked at Leah. "You have done something unexpected. You have made contact where others failed. But laws are not so easy to change." Leah stepped closer. "Then help us. Be the first to support change. Be part of something new." Velrek looked at the young Devoran, who was now playing with chalk and drawing shapes. He took a long breath. "I will report what I saw. I will not lie." He turned and left with his team. That night, the base was quiet. Leah looked up at the stars. Scene stood beside her. "Do you think he'll help us?" Scene asked. "I don't know," Leah said. But he saw the truth. That's a start. Aaron and Carla were inside, writing reports and saving video files. They didn't want to lose a single moment. Outside, Bruno looked at the stars too. Beside him, the young Devoran made a small circle in the dirt and smiled. Maybe trust was not so hard. Maybe friendship had already begun. The days passed slowly. The air turned warmer, and flowers began to bloom across the fields. The humans and Devoran worked together every day, learning more about each other. The shared space by the river became a place of peace. People came there not just to work, but to talk, to sit, and to think. One morning, Carla woke early. She had an idea. She gathered stones, paints, and symbols. She wanted to build a wall that told their story, a wall of unity. Leah helped her place the first stone. Then Bruno added one, with the Devoran symbol for trust. Each person, human and alien, added their own stone. Aaron stood back and looked at the growing wall. "This isn't just history. It's a promise." Carla nodded. "It shows that we tried, that we didn't walk away." In the base, Scene kept working on the comm system. He had found a stronger signal point on a hill near the river. He climbed there every day, sending reports to Earth. Finally, one day, he got a reply. Leah read the message aloud. "Your progress is noted. Earth Command is pleased. Support will be increased. A second team may join you in 4 months." Everyone cheered. More people meant more help, more chances to build something lasting. That afternoon, a storm rolled in fast. Strong winds broke branches and rain flooded parts of the trail. The Devoran helped the humans protect their base. They worked as one group, not two. During the storm, a young Devoran got hurt when a tree branch fell. Leah and Carla rushed to help. They used medical supplies and stayed with him all night. When the storm passed, the child's parent came to the base and made a symbol in the dirt, a heart with a line through it. Carla asked, "What does it mean?" Bruno translated using simple signs. "Life. Saved. That moment changed something. The Devoran no longer watched from the trees. They walked freely into the human base. They shared food and stories. And for the first time, they showed the humans something deeper, a place hidden beyond the hills. Bruno led them there. It was a wide cave filled with glowing stones and old paintings. The walls told a story. The Devoran had once been travelers too, long ago. They had landed on this world to escape a war. Their old world was gone. Carla touched the wall gently. "We're not so different," Leah said. They were alone, just like we are now. Bruno pointed to one picture. It showed two figures standing together, one like a Devoran, one like a human. The symbol below was the same one from the Unity Wall. Scene whispered, "They've seen this before. Maybe in dreams or stories. Maybe they've been waiting for someone like us." The next few weeks were full of change. Music filled the nights. Stories were told under the stars. The Devoran even tried human food, though they didn't like the coffee. On day 100, they held a small festival. Humans and Devoran stood side by side. They painted their hands and pressed them onto the wall of unity. Leah stood in front of everyone. "This is not the end of our journey. It's only the start. 1 year is not enough. We will stay as long as we're welcome. We will learn, and we will teach." Bruno stepped forward. He placed his hand in hers. The whole valley was quiet. From above, the Concord ship watched. Velrek saw the images sent by his scouts. He watched the hands on the wall, the faces lit by firelight, the smiles. He made his final report. "The humans have done what we could not. They tamed not the planet, but the silence between worlds." He closed the screen. And far below, in the Valley of Two Peoples, the stars blinked slowly, like old friends watching something beautiful grow. The air was heavy the next day. A storm was coming. Clouds gathered above the valley, dark and slow. But it was not the storm that worried the humans. It was the silence from the Concord ship. There had been no message, no sign of what they would do next. Leah stood near the river, watching the sky. Her hand still held the carved staff Bruno had given her. It felt like a promise, a responsibility. Scene came to her side. "I think they're waiting, watching, maybe even arguing among themselves." Leah nodded. "They don't know what to do with us. We broke the rules, but we didn't break trust." Back at the base, Carla and Aaron worked on a large symbol board. It was made of wood and stone, showing Devoran and human symbols side by side. They placed it near the forest path so both peoples could see it. "This is more than science now," Carla said. "It's culture. It's respect." Aaron looked at the sky. "And it might be our last message if the Concord shuts us down." By midday, rain began to fall. Light at first, then stronger. The Devoran came anyway. Bruno led them with slow steps. He wore a simple wrap across his chest, painted with symbols. Leah met them at the edge of the trees. She smiled and held out her hand. Bruno reached out and touched her palm with his, a quiet sign of trust. They walked together to the symbol board. The Devoran studied it carefully. Some pointed at the marks, some whispered low sounds. One of the elders stepped forward and added a new symbol to the board, a spiral. Carla leaned close. "I've seen this before. It means time, or maybe journey." Then the storm hit harder. Wind blew through the trees. Rain poured down. The humans tried to cover equipment. The Devoran moved to help without being asked. Inside the base, Scene watched the cameras. He noticed movement near the edge of the forest. Not the Devoran. It was someone else. "We've got company," he said. Leah and Aaron ran to the screen. A small team of Concord soldiers had landed. They wore black armor and carried energy rifles. Their leader was not Velrek. It was someone new. "They didn't come to talk," Leah said. "They came to end this." The humans rushed outside. The Concord soldiers moved fast, trying to block the base. Leah stepped forward with her hands up. "We are not breaking the law," she said. "We are making peace." The leader, a woman with sharp eyes, raised her weapon. "This planet is off limits. You were warned." Bruno and two Devoran stepped forward. They made no sound. They stood beside the humans, tall and proud. The Concord soldiers paused. They had never seen this. Devoran, known to be wild and dangerous, standing calm and peaceful with humans. Carla held up a tablet. "We have records, videos, messages. All of it shows what we've done. You can't erase that now." The rain poured harder. Thunder shook the ground. Then another ship arrived. It was Velric's shuttle. He stepped out alone, walked through the storm, and stood between the two groups. He looked at the leader. "Stand down. They are under my watch." The leader hesitated. "You don't have the authority." Velric stared at her. "Then report me. But you will not harm them. Not today." The soldiers lowered their weapons. Slowly, one by one. Leah stepped forward. "Thank you." Velrec looked at her. "I came to see monsters. I found something better." He turned to the Devoran. Bruno made the peace symbol. Velrec tried to copy it. It was not perfect, but it was enough. The rain slowed. The storm began to pass. Back inside, the humans dried off and checked their gear. Nothing was lost. Outside, the Devoran added more symbols to the board. One looked like a bridge. Aaron smiled. "A bridge between worlds. That's what this is now." Leah touched the staff again. "And we're not done yet." They all looked up at the sky. The clouds were clearing. Light was breaking through. Hope was still alive. A few days passed. The rain had stopped. The forest was green and fresh. Birds sang in the trees. Life felt calm again. But everyone knew things were changing. Leah stood at the symbol board. New markings had been added by both humans and Devoran. It looked like a wall of shared memory now, a place of trust. Carla walked up beside her. They came again this morning. 3 new Devoran. They'd brought tools. They'd want to build something. Leah smiled. "Let's help them." Aaron and Scene were setting up solar panels with 2 Devoran helping. The aliens were fast learners. They copied every move, asked questions through symbols and simple hand signs. It felt less like a job and more like teamwork. Velrec stayed on the planet for a while. He did not wear his full uniform now. He walked freely and even sat with the Devoran during meals. He asked questions, watched carefully, and took notes. "I sent my full report to the Concord," he told Leah one night. "I told them the truth, that this place is more than a danger zone. It's a chance." "What did they say?" she asked. He looked at the stars. "Nothing yet, but they can't ignore it forever." One morning, a message came. It was from Earth. Scene read it out loud. "The Council has reviewed the data. They request a full proposal for a joint colony with Devoran participation." Everyone stared at each other. Carla laughed. "They want us to stay, not just visit. Build something real. Together." Bruno stepped into the room with the young Devoran beside him. He looked at everyone, then pointed at the symbol board. He added a new mark, a circle with 2 lines joined inside it. Carla touched it. "It means unity. Complete." Work began the next day. A new camp was built, not just for humans, but for Devoran too. Shelters were made side by side. Some made of wood, some of metal. Paths connected everything. A shared kitchen. A shared garden. Children played together. Human kids and young Devoran ran through the fields, laughing in their own ways. It didn't matter if the sounds were different. The joy was the same. Velrec recorded every moment. "This is history. I'm proud to be part of it." A group of Concord leaders arrived 2 weeks later. They expected to see danger. Instead, they saw peace. They saw songs, symbols, and smiles. Leah stood before them with the staff in her hand. Bruno stood beside her. Together, They welcomed the visitors. "This is what can happen when fear does not lead," Leah said. "This is what happens when we listen." The Concord leaders spoke little, but when they left, they said one thing: "We will not stop this. We will watch, and we will learn." That was enough. More humans arrived in the months that followed. Scientists, builders, and artists. More Devoran came too. Elders, hunters, and teachers. They built together, learned together. The symbol board grew wider. It stretched across the field. It became a living wall filled with stories from both worlds. Leah wrote a letter to Earth. We did not tame them. That word was never right. We listened. We learned. We offered our hand, and they gave theirs. We became something new, something stronger. Aaron added a line at the end. Humans were not the first here, but maybe we were the first to believe in something better. At sunset, Leah sat with Bruno under the tall tree by the river. The young Devoran drew in the dirt beside them. "This tree," Leah said, "has two roots now, one from your people, one from mine." Bruno made the peace symbol. Then he drew the tree again, adding stars above it. Leah smiled. Yes, a future for both. And in the quiet of the valley, with stars above and earth below, two species who had once feared each other now built a home together. A place of peace, a place of hope, a place where the brave had listened, and the bold had believed.